what the fuck he's saying.
You eat. And what do you think happens when the fatty acid profile of your cells turns into vegetable oil, essentially, after following a standard American diet for years? Your cells become vulnerable to this radiation, where
No, they don't.
as a cell composed of saturated fat will never become carcinogenic or damaged from
That is not true.
ultraviolet light.
This guy is literally a fucking moron. Like, Jesus Christ, he's so stupid.
What's up?
God, I hate his face, too. Dodo Tellers, you missed my other link. Oh, sorry.
Rights men have today that women don't?
Any rights that men have that women do not? Any rights that men have that women do not? No. No.
So then what laws are feminists fighting for?
Shit, that's a good one. Shit, that's a good one.
Feminists aren't necessarily fighting for rights. It's more of an equal treatment thing now. Okay. Can you watch a few minutes of this meant now? Let me see.
Military spending, security alliances, dismantling our footprint of military bases, even dissolving maybe the U.S.-NATO alliance. Let's start there. How would that work?
These are all horrible ideas. China wants to invade Taiwan, and there's a war going on in Ukraine, and this guy wants to get rid of NATO and dismantle a global network of military bases. Like, cutting back on military spending is one thing, and there's a sensible way to do it. Force the military to pass a comprehensive audit. And right now, only 50% of their expenditure can be, expenditures can be accounted for. So, force them to pass an audit. If they can't pass a comprehensive audit, reduce the spending. After a couple years, again, force them to pass a comprehensive audit. If they can't do it again, reduce their spending to where, again, that cash can be accounted for. Like, why wouldn't he just do that?
Work.
Well, first, I start on a spiritual note, which is to say we've got to get beyond all of this hatred and greed and avarice and resentment and envy. So much of politics, as the great Saul Bellow used to say, is low comedy. No, we need persons who talk about integrity, honesty, decency, will be themselves. Mm-hmm. And very much like a Jimi Hendrix.
That is not a response to anything that was mentioned.
Will give it all from the depths of their soul. Can you imagine we had politicians that was...
You want to discuss veganism with me? What the fuck? There's the link.
As good as John Coltrane or Mahalia Jackson or Aretha Franklin in terms of being honest, not posing and posturing and saying one thing and meaning something else. Truth and justice. That's what this campaign was all about.
Well, maybe you're getting into the politician vibe because you're talking music that of course connects with us.
Music is real. It's real, though, brother.
But when you say, okay, let's dismantle the NATO alliance, does that help Putin? How does that help the U.S.?
Well, no. The first thing it says is I want the United States to be a decent and dignified nation. I don't want the United States to be an empire that other nations have to defer to. So I'm cutting directly against the consensus in Washington. We don't need 800 military units. We don't need to have military expenditures that's more than the next 8 countries combined. We don't have to...
Yes, the United States does. The United States does need that military force. It's extremely important for keeping stability in the world and keeping its own country and investments safe. Again, if this guy really wanted to be serious about reducing military spending, there's a really high chance that nearly 50% of it's fraud. So just force them to pass a comprehensive audit. All you have to do. Fluffy the cat donated $2. Kitten can't be racist. He just can't. Cat has pure heart. He may be. Okay, just a second.
Did you hear about the Stop Cop City people that got indicted for RICO? I think it's fine to protest the police center, but they sabotaged/threatened construction workers and set up traps.
Yeah, I did hear about that. The Cop City thing is fucked. I'm actually in support of the protesters and really good. Everybody should be blowing shit up and sabotaging their equipment. There's no need for that to be there. Considering where it is in Atlanta, it's crazy. Like, they're building the biggest fucking police, like, training center in the world. Like, why in Atlanta in particularly? They're also planning on doing things like riot control, a lot of like military type fucking training for the police, which is weird. But yeah, I heard about that. Thanks for the donation, Caleb. He may be scared of black man at first, but once you get used to him, he will want to be his friend. Cat can never be racist. He's just pussycat. He's just a little kitten. Well, that's good to hear, Fluffy the cat. Thanks for the donation. All right, somebody popped in. What's up? Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So I'm interested in discussing...
Is your mic close enough to your mouth? Because you're super ridiculously quiet. It sounds like you're far away.
Is this any better?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
So I'm interested in discussing like effective ways to run NTT as a dialectic. I've kind of been gotcha by non-vegans recently with... So it seems that if you are to run NTT, from my perspective, it seems that you have to somewhat concede that animals and human beings are of equal moral value, and that can get you into some like dodgy reductios.
No,
do you think that's true?
So
okay,
look, when you're running Name the Trait, the basic premise is that there doesn't like animals are not lacking in any trait that would justify taking away their rights or not granting them human rights. So, and it's just a test of logical consistency. So it's basically telling them, okay, show me a trait where you could, that is lacking in animals, but if it were lacking in human beings, it would also require you to take away human rights. Sometimes you can get into situations where they'll mention like human DNA, where, yeah, it won't be human anymore, but then like, again, the reductio is something like aliens or some shit, but like, go on.
Is there like, so if you were running NTT on non-vegan and they were to ask you, well, do you honestly believe that humans and animals are of equal moral consideration? Would you say no? And if so, couldn't they run NTT on you?
Yeah, you certainly can say no. If you like, this is all your own personal opinion though, but like, again, a mentally disabled person is not of the same moral value to me as, you know, some kind of like normal person or super genius. Same with animals. Like, I'm not going to value the life of, like, I don't know, a ladybug or a fucking chicken as much as I will, say, a cow or even a human being or something. Like, they're just kind of lower on the totem pole for a number of reasons. Their ability to experience well-being is lower. How long they live, you know, things like that all play into effect. So, but it's your opinion. If you don't think those are valuable, you know, differences or meaningful differences, then you can have the opinion that animals have equal moral worth.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I'm just trying to obviously trying to find a position that like is always going to entail veganism and try to like not win too hard on like the reductios. So It's just that a few non-vegans have been running like burning house hypotheticals of like, are you going to save like 3 rats versus 1 person? And if I say obviously it's absurd to not save the 1 person, but they can.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Well, the correct answer would be it depends on the person.
Okay, is that like a mental incapacity?
No, like, I mean, they're shitty people. So if the person, say, ate meat, you know for sure that human being is going to have a much worse impact on the world versus the 3 rats. So I would rather save the 3 rats than the human being that's going to eat meat and cause the death of far more animals.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I guess I was like assuming we would account for that, right? And let's say they're both from the offset, kind of innocent. Are we being judged by like utilitarian kind of influence in the world, or like instrumentality? So, but I think it's hard to like bite the bullet with like the average person of suggesting that are like different. If like moral.
Well, why don't you go through exactly how you kind of got gotcha'd with Name the Trait?
Yeah, so like the non-vegan would say something like, well, okay, so do you generally believe there are like any differences between humans and animals at the level of like moral value? And it seems at the moment that I'm going to have to say no, because I don't want them starting to like run entity on me. And any trait that I name, I think they're going to be able to find obviously exceptions within human beings. I don't want to bite the bullet on like someone with Down syndrome is going to be like less valuable than someone without Down syndrome, because I think to the average person that sounds like an absurdity.
I don't think so. Why is that absurd?
Because I think, well, surely to the average person it would imply that there's someone with Down syndrome. Well, I mean, it wouldn't imply. It's just suggesting they are of less value. And so I think for the average person, you don't think that would...
No.
That's like a tough to buy. That sounds totally ineffective.
No. And I mean, if there's any confusion on why you'd say a person with Down syndrome is less valuable, you can just explain. But like, again, if there's a burning building, there's somebody with Down syndrome, and there's like a normal person, I'd rather save the normal person, assuming they're both assumed innocent.
Okay, would you say I'm worrying too much about my rhetoric then? I should just be like telling people what I truly believe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure.
Like, people react differently to different people too. I'm kind of like a big, scary dude to a lot of people, and I've done street debates where I'll mention things like culling carnivorous animals or killing meat eaters. Like, people have asked me this, and I just straight up tell them, yeah, if you eat meat, you should be killed to prevent those rights violations. And then they're like, oh, like, interesting. They don't really react and like, oh my God, you're a crazy wacko or anything. I think a lot of people are kind of too hung up on worrying about what somebody's going to think of them or react. Because these are sort of heady topics. And if you don't really think about it through well, you'd expect, a person to kind of react that way and think you're crazy. But from my own experience, people usually are just take a step back and think for a second, and then they're like, okay, that's interesting.
Okay, yeah. I think that's fair, yeah, definitely.
But you should always be honest in a debate. I don't think there's really anything you gain from not saying what you truly think or feel.
I guess, well, from my perspective, I would say that there are like 2 falsifiers in the debate, or at least 2 main ones, right? I'm sure you must obviously be aware that like we obviously we try to point contradictions out, and then we point out absurdities. And so if someone does say something, I think sometimes you're always going to have to point to the audience. Like I saw you do the other day, right? When someone said that they were okay with like Nazism, for example.
Yeah.
Like the debate's over because you can just see this person's like not like saying. And so yeah.
People
want someone to.
You don't need an audience. Like, I mean, people will know if they're saying something stupid. That's why they always try to dodge or something right before they say something dumb.
Yeah.
Like, unless they're
Yeah.
a crack addict. But, you know, most people you talk to are gonna, like, if they end up biting the bullet on something like, yeah, the Nazis did nothing wrong, they're gonna know, you know, they said something stupid. And you could tell when I debated Leo, he knew he was saying something stupid.
Yeah. So really quickly. So for you, again, I'm just trying to understand myself. So for you, would the name of the Great Symmetry Breaker be sentience, or is it some sort of like utilitarianism or like instrumentality?
Symmetry breaker between, like, if we're talking about a mentally disabled person being less valuable?
Yeah, well, like humans to animals to plants. Like, how do you work out like the hierarchy of when we're granting moral value?
Well, it could be whatever you feel it is. So if you value something like intelligence, how long you're going to live, what kind of impact you're going to have on the world, those are all things that are going to be affected if you're mentally disabled. Then obviously a mentally disabled person would be less valuable in your mind.
Okay, yeah.
Doesn't mean you can take away rights from them necessarily. Like, that's a totally different discussion. Like when you run the burning house hypothetical, that's really just an opinion on what you personally value more. It really has nothing to do with taking rights away from somebody.
Okay, so is this going to account for why vegans have tried to move towards like rights violations rather than like traditional normative morality, right? I hear like ask yourself is moving in that direction. Perhaps that's what I should be taking up then when I'm doing debates.
Yeah, like I really think the definition of veganism should be a moral principle or philosophy and way of living that grants human rights to animals. That makes the most sense to me. It leads to, from what I can tell, no contradictions. And I think rights are really the way people think of the world. They don't just think purely in a utilitarian sense.
Yeah, so. Okay, yeah, thanks. I'll think about this a bit more, and if I can like articulate myself a bit better next time, then I'll let you know.
Yeah, sure. All right, take care, man.
Oh, thank you.
Okie dokie.
They're building the largest police training center in the world in Atlanta because Atlanta is majority black, so they have a disproportional amount of crime compared to other cities. Like it or not, that's the statistics. Why are you anti-police, pro-crime?
So I'm not anti-police necessarily. I think there's just a fundamental issue with how policing's conducted. In the U.S. in particular, there are very few like legal mandates for how the police have to interact. Like in Canada, the police have a mandate, and they're breaking the law if they don't follow it. To do whatever they can to preserve life, that's their priority in their job. So there's very, very few situations where you're ever going to see a police officer shoot and kill a suspect, because in most cases, you don't have to do it. Like in a lot of cases anyway. That is probably the biggest problem. There's just nothing really holding the police back. And if you have a combination of like a bad person with bad training on a police force, they're just able to get away with so much with like practically no repercussions. And on top of that, I think the list of things they need to do in their job is way too fucking broad. So they have to do traffic stops. They have to like investigate practically any kind of crime. They're also given like mandates to like look for drug dealers, and then because their fucking job includes things like traffic stops, other investigations, what they do is they do pretextual stops, and that creates so many fucking problems with the community. So, yeah, the way Cop City is probably going to be used, it's not for the type of training that police really need. Yeah, I'm totally against Cop City. And I don't think Atlanta is any more high crime than, you know, somewhere like New York or some shit. So why the fuck are they making the largest police training center there? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. Thanks for the donation, though, 21st Savage.
Hi VG. I hope you are doing good tonight. I'm at the gym training, but I wanted to pop in and send this to you. First, RCT shows GA care reduces suicidality.
Nice. Let me take a look. Early access to testosterone therapy in transgender and gender diverse adults seeking masculinization randomized clinical trial. 3-month clinically significant decrease in depression and decrease in suicidality also occurred with immediate testosterone therapy. Well, testosterone's known to do that. Testosterone has an antidepressant effect, so that's not really surprising. A lot of dudes who don't even need to be on something like TRT, and they're taking testosterone just for performance enhancement reasons, they say they just feel better. Like they feel happier, more vibrant, more energetic. So that kind of result, it would be expected if you really wanted to prove that gender-affirming care reduced suicidality, like the gender-affirming care itself and not some sort of unique effect of the hormones they're given, you also need to include male to female transitioners who are given like estrogen and shit. But that is interesting. Take a look at that paper later. Thanks for the donation, Ben.
I've got some good news and some bad news. The bad news here and the good news here.
I could not be more excited to be able to announce today that Oklahoma is entering into a partnership with PragerU to make available PragerU courses, content available for every school in the state of Oklahoma. I cannot be more excited to get this content.
I do not understand how this is even legal. Like, these are public schools, and they're going to, like, a right-wing think tank scam organization that's being run by a fracking billionaire. And, like, you can prove their content is wrong. Like, they just make so many false statements.
Not so sure he's very good at this. I think there is a lack of charm that exists. And we've heard this a lot, and I was around him a bit in the House of Representatives. Charmless is putting it nicely with this person, and it shows up when he's meeting with donors. It shows up when he's on. It shows up when he's out on the campaign trail. I mean, at some point, you have to make people feel something. And for whatever you think about Donald Trump, he makes you feel something. But Ron DeSantis is a bit dull, and so it makes people very easy.
So he's an asshole. By the way, just from hearing what he did at Guantanamo Bay, yeah, he's an asshole. Nobody likes him. That's good to hear. Fuck DeSantis, dude. I'm surprised he hasn't just dropped out already. Because there's no way he's going to win. He's a fucking moron.
Richard Nergis Pritchberg. Shit. They tested the fire alarms at work when I was in the parking garage. Officially the loudest sound I've ever heard. Ouch. How do I suck dick without gagging? Thanks, Bitchard.
Well, you probably want to practice deep throating. I don't know if you just gag from sucking a dick. Some people have like a really strong gag reflex, but I think you just need to practice more and also sort of learn how to relax your throat. So either practice with your partner or use a dildo or something. But thanks for the donation, Non-Wib. Andrew kind of lifts donated $2. You need a banjo.
And to celebrate me coming back, I think I'm doing it wrong. I haven't done it in a while. Got my banjo. Wish that I was on a Rocky Top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smoky smoke on Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bill. Once I had a girl on Rocky Top, half bear, the half cat. Man, sweet ass soda pop, I still dream about that. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, woo. Rocky Top, Tennessee.
I do need to get a banjo, that's for sure, so I can be as cool as Aaron. Thanks for the donation, though, Andrew kind of lifts. Jalen donated $2. When will lab-grown meat become common? I wouldn't be surprised if it actually ends up coming to market and being fairly common sort of commodity in the next 10 years, especially given the amount of investment in it and the amount of advancement in the technology as well. It won't give animals rights and value in people's minds, but it would reduce the amount of them bred into existence to be tortured and murdered. Do you think before 2040? Yeah, almost certainly before 2040. Thanks for the donation, though, Jalen. Appreciate it.
Like my nigger Big Pun said, niggers want to fuck my wife. That's my wife, I paid for them titties.
Well, thank you for that. I'm so bricked up right now. Appreciate it. What the fuck were we even... Yeah, we're reacting to this. That guy's a fucking moron.
Proof that Michaela Peterson is scamming the entire carnivore community and now secretly supports veganism. Fuck yeah! Let's get to it. So I was looking on this Plastic Bimbo's website to see what dirt I could find about her, and I noticed she had an Amazon store link. And what the fuck do we have here that Michaela recommends to her followers? Holy shit, we got vegan products! What the fuck is this? Look, they're...
Yeah, what the fuck? She's supporting the lion diet, and then there's fruit snacks. Some, like, coconut fucking thing. She is so stupid with the coconut oil and crap. Oh my god. Apple chips and banana chips. And sweet potato chips.
There's a couple items that are animal products, but most of the stuff she recommends are fucking vegan. We have liquid aminos, a great soy sauce alternative. That is vegan. Look at these delicious sweet potato chips. That's vegan. Definitely not something a lion would eat. Ooh, these...
Are we gonna finish watching Frank? You also missed the link at the bottom of my last post. LL.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, we're going to watch Frank. We'll watch the Vince Goodrum video in a second, but we're going to keep watching Frank. Thanks for that donation, I'm so bricked.
would be good. Dried fruit snacks. High in fiber and great for your health. You all see that vegan heart? I sure do, motherfucker. I love a good fruit snack. And look at this particular treat. It's certified vegan.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And there's other vegan fruit snacks she loved. If this food is really for Michaela's daughter, this proves the lion and carnivore diet is not the most optimal diet for human health. Kids don't thrive on eating vegan foods, then one day when they hit a certain age, their stomachs magically change to thriving on only dead animals. If that were true, then I could say the same thing back against the carnivores. If humans were meant to thrive eating animals, their stomachs could change one day to thrive only on plants. How come nobody sees little kids craving living animals like real carnivores do? Why don't kids have a natural instinct to hunt and kill animals that are moving? These are natural feelings that are missing in children for a reason. Find a diet that goes...
Well, that's pretty funny. Michaela is dumb as shit.
What's going on, everybody? Vince Goodrum here. It is Thursday evening. The Great One has a eucalyptus mud mask on, in case you guys are wondering. You know, I always have to keep my dashing good looks, you know, just saying. Reason for the video, of course, is because I have to go and discuss that debate between Vegan Gains and Leo Venus. So who won? Well, Vegan Gains won. My cousin actually won. But he already won it from the very beginning. I mean, it was already written in the stars above. And I'm going to explain why. All right? First and foremost, the whole debate was about Leo saying that eating meat was not immoral. Here's the problem. That argument works for me. You know, I am an omnivore. It also works for carnivores.
Okay, bro. When Vince Goodrum says you lost the debate against me, you gone fucked up. Oh yeah, by the way, my mom was telling me about this. Leo Venus claims he's a fucking medical doctor and shit. Like, he tries to flex that. He went to medical school in Ireland, and I don't know if he actually got his medical license because I'm pretty sure he didn't even pass residency, so technically he wouldn't be a doctor. But the reason he got his medical degree in Ireland is because he's too stupid to get into school anywhere else. That's why. So he can't fucking practice medicine in Norway because he can't meet the educational standards there. So he's stupid. The Venus brothers are actually fucking dumb. I thought Leo might have been the smarter brother, but like, he's just as stupid as fucking John. The only way he could get into medical school is by going to a place that had lower fucking educational standards.
The thing about it is, Leo claims to be a vegan. A vegan cannot use that argument whatsoever. It's taboo. It's a big no-no. You can't make that argument as a vegan. The reason being is the vegan movement is simply all about protecting the animals. And that anyone eats meat contributes to the death and suffering of animals and animal abuse, torture, rape, and murder. That's what my cousin believes. That's what Vegan Gays believes. You know, that's what Vegan Teacher believes. That's what Tosh believes. Vegan Booty believes. You know, it's not something that I believe, but it's something that's generally believed by vegans. Okay. This is not something you could straddle the fence on, Leo. So you need to figure out your shit. You know, you either are a vegan or you're not. You either down with the green or you down with the brown. You know what I mean? Brown representing meat and green representing a stalk of celery or something, you know? So you got to figure that out, you know? But you can't be a vegan and say that eating meat is not immoral, okay? It doesn't work. It's
Yeah, it's retarded. I flat out told him he's not vegan, he's plant-based during the debate, but like, the Venus brothers are so fucking stupid, dude. apparently somebody told me that his girlfriend eats meat. I don't know if that's the case, but that would kind of explain some of his behavior. I've seen a few dudes who like get like they're just so hungry for pussy they end up dating a carnist, and then they do these they used to be into activism, calling out carnivores, and then it like triggered their fucking partner, and then they ended up cucking to carnists and being like, meat eaters aren't all that bad. Fucking asshole. So Didi donated $2.
What's the best video game of all time?
Uncharted 4.
Super Mario Brothers 3. 3? What's the best video game of all time?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Ooh, good choice.
Uncharted 4 was an okay choice. Red Dead Redemption 2. It's like just one of the most overrated games for filthy casuals.
Best video game.
Elden Ring, or definitely Elden Ring.
Of all time.
Of all time.
That just came out last year.
Elden Ring is the best, man.
What's the best video game of all time?
Elden Ring was just fucking boring, dude.
Time. Tetris. Excuse me. What's the best video game of all time?
DVD.
What's the best video game of all
Dead by Daylight. What
all
the
time?
fuck?
Dokkan Battle for the smartphone.
For the smartphone. Why? What is the best video game of all time?
Final Fantasy 14. Great story, great music, great character building. Best community ever.
The Last of Us, in my opinion.
Not The Last of Us 2. Give me a fucking break.
Either Skyrim or Fallout 4.
Dynasty Warriors.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, you're wrong, but it's fine. What's the best video game?
The correct answer is Last of Us 2. Just saying.
My question is, where does the fist of freedom of expression end and the nose of well-being of the individual or society begin? For example, in France and Germany, the nose has been defined by everything Nazi being illegal. Where do you think the American boundary should be? Should people have the right to be open Nazis, express their Nazism, and try to spread and recruit for a Nazi cause?
Okay, so as you can tell, I'm not a big fan of Nazis. Okay, that's my statement. I'm also a bigger fan.
If you're... Yeah, this is a big trap for Ben. He's not going to have any good response to this. If you are in favor of the idea of allowing Nazis to exist, spread their rhetoric, recruit more members for the Nazi cause, you are a supporter of Nazism. Claiming, oh, I'm not a big fan of Nazis, but then allowing them to do that, you clearly are a fan of Nazis. The only fucking reason Hitler ever took power was because he was able to use his freedom of speech at the time. After he got out of jail, he was given like a 2-year probation where he couldn't speak publicly anymore or write. As soon as that ended and he was able to do public speaking and write for the newspaper, Nazism just skyrocketed in popularity. And then he eventually took power. So this idea that free speech and just letting people spread hate speech is of greater importance than preventing Nazism is just crazy.
Right, no, understood. I'm a bigger fan of the First Amendment. So my feeling is that in open debate, Nazis lose, which is why the Nazi Party is not a real thing here. So I actually oppose a lot of the hate speech laws because I think that once you give the government the power...
I'm sorry? Okay, that was the dumbest thing. I thought he was going to say something a little smarter than that, but he said, well, Nazis don't really exist here, so it's okay? What?
Power to decide.
Has this guy not seen, like, fucking Florida?
Which views are acceptable and which views are not acceptable, then that gun can turn on you in a real hurry, and that scares me a lot more than the idea...
Well, that is just absolutely fucking ridiculous. Please explain to me how banning Nazism is going to prevent you from speaking about anything, unless you're a Nazi.
Of a couple of kooks walking around with silly-looking Hitler mustaches.
I would just like to ask Ben what he thinks the absolute worst case possible scenario outcome would be if we banned Nazism. Is the only thing you can come up with is jailing people for having a Hitler mustache? What a fucking idiot, dude.
How many people listening to us today do you think know their VO2 max?
Very few.
There is no metric that I am aware of that is more highly correlated with the length of a person's life than their VO2 max.
Why that particular metric?
There's probably two things going on, right? One,
I don't think that's true. If you're looking at like physical performance measures, then yeah, it might be VO2 max. So, bench press probably isn't well correlated. Vertical leap probably isn't well correlated, but I would imagine VO2 max would be well correlated. And that's likely because if you have a high VO2 max, you probably also have like low cholesterol. You probably also are at a low body weight, where you're not overweight. Like, it's not necessarily the high VO2 max that makes you live longer, but it's these other things. So primarily being at a healthy body weight and having low cholesterol are probably the best predictors for longevity.
it actually does matter a lot. It's an amazing proxy for health. Have you had a VO2 max test done recently?
The last one was probably 4 years ago.
It is testing your maximal consumption of oxygen. Well, to get to that level, we are stressing you to the highest degree possible. The higher that number is, the more oxygen your muscles can utilize, the more fit you are, the more capacity you have to avoid illness. I think the other reason for it is that it's a metric that is so ubiquitous. It's very standardized. To have a high number, you must be exercising a lot. And we know the benefits of exercising a lot. The person who has a VO2 max at the top 2% of their age, by definition, they're doing a lot of exercise. And exercise has more benefit than probably any other single intervention we can.
Exercise is extremely beneficial. But again, like, exercise has so many other knockdown effects. Like, it lowers your cholesterol, lowers your blood pressure. It helps with weight loss and weight maintenance. So I don't know if the exercise itself is particularly great for longevity, like just living a longer total amount of years. I don't know if it's the exercise or what ends up happening with exercise that could be accomplished through other means. So I don't know.
You won't. Lol.
I'll take a look at that link in just a second. Thanks for that donation, 7.
Big Lenny is probably the most bizarre bodybuilder in the world's history.
Well, we already know about Big Lenny, whatever.
It's well known that solar ultraviolet radiation...
We already reacted to this. Thanks, though, 7. Dodo donated $2. Let me see.
This press conference didn't go to plan. Vladimir Putin got a shock when the Turkish President Erdogan claimed the countries were at war. The official meeting records show it was actually the translator who had made the mistake. This press conference didn't go to plan. Vladimir Putin got a shock when the Turkish President...
Well, that's funny.
A record number of young people in China graduated from college this year, but instead of celebrating, some are marking the milestone on social media by lying down flat on the ground in their graduation gowns, looking dejected and exhausted. After studying for years, they're frustrated with the struggle to find decent work as China's youth unemployment rate hits historic highs. So for some, the better option for now is to stay at home as so-called full-time children.
If you have a lot of idle young people who are not employed, it adds pressure on social stability, which is what the government really is concerned about.
Here's why millions of Chinese graduates are out of work.
What do you think Jake Bro will do when there's no more Ukrainian war to report on? Can we also watch and react to this dating coach? This guy
What's
gives
going on, everybody?
such
I'm
good
Sonic Kim,
advice.
America's fake.
We'll react to that later. I don't know what Jake Bro's gonna do once the war is over. Who knows? He might just talk about geopolitics in general. Thanks for that donation, though, Gay for Richard's cock.
VO2 max doesn't matter, LDL doesn't matter, it's all about the FCS. The fecal consumption score. The more liquid feces you eat, the longer you live. Stop promoting pseudoscience and read the data, dude. 1 gallon of microwaved shit a week and you're good.
Well, thank you for the advice. I didn't know that. Thanks for the donation as well, microwave poop. Enrique Rodriguez donated $2. Is using lifting straps a good idea for back training and hypertrophy? I think most of your work should be done without lifting straps. It's important to have a strong grip. But there's circumstances where you do want to use lifting straps. So in situations where your the lift is so heavy and you have to maintain your grip throughout the duration of the lift, so say like RDLs, and you're doing it with, you know, maybe 350 or close to 400 pounds, it's not really realistic to be able to hold onto a bar for the whole duration of the set. And having to focus on your grip so heavily might also affect your ability to properly perform the movement. So in a situation like that, you don't want to use straps. If you're doing trapezius training, so like shoulder shrugs, those are usually heavily weighted. You'd probably want to use straps for that. And if your hands are just fucked up. If you're doing barbell training, and you're doing a lot of heavy weight, there's just some lifts that are way worse on your hands than others, and you may just want to spare your hands a little bit and use straps. So I use straps when I do dumbbell rows because I can do those pretty heavily weighted, and my hands are usually kind of fucked up if I don't use straps. Shoulder shrugs and RDLs. Those are the exercise I use straps. So depends on the movement, but I generally recommend staying away from using straps. Thanks for the donation though, Enrique. Hope that helps.
Ben Shapiro is just the male equivalent to Laura Loomer. I just can't believe that they're so committed to their ideologies that they would be fine with evil people, who if they were given power, could and would revive the Holocaust and capture them SMH lol.
The reason they're in favor of allowing evil people to gain power and do things like commit a Holocaust is because they're evil people. And they want to commit a genocide. It's just in Ben's case, it's probably a genocide against gay and trans people. So, that's why. Thanks for the donation though, Ben. So 777 $20. Maybe a bit disturbing, but this shows some reality in Ukraine. Let me see. I've seen some of this footage before. I don't know if I should show this on cam. I'm just gonna check and see if anybody's blown apart. Okay, nobody loses limbs.
Ти як, брат? Топор! Щас, братик.
Я их не могу выкрутить.
Давай, давай.
Надо зафиксировать ее.
Стой, стой, братик, не иди далеко. О, братанчик, покажи. Повернись, повернись.
Перебила, походу. ОС, топорик стабільний.
Увага! По лівій стороні лісосмуги 100 метрів від вас противник. 100 метрів від вас противник. По лівій стороні лісосмуги. Як прийдеться? Плюс, правильно.
Братик. Підери, сука. Все, погнали, братан. Давай, пасики, крылья! Держи!
They're fighting in surprisingly close quarters. It's really weird how close a lot of these fights are.
Іду! Що ти? Що ти, братан?
Yeah, shit is popping off.
Показуй. Порядок, я думаю, не, порядок. Ебало, касательно, братик, касательно. Касательно, Що?
Янгол нормально, може продовжувати.
Ось, подонок приїхав, вигрузився, топорик погрузився.
Ukraine W. Alright.
The term full-time children has gone viral on Chinese social media. Videos show young people spending time with their parents, cooking and cleaning in exchange for a salary.
They are choosing to stay at home full time. They are counting on their parents to continue support them financially. This is what many people are referring to as the lying flat phenomenon in China.
Lying flat essentially means to resist the intense social pressure to study hard and work even harder. A record 11.6 million young Chinese graduated from college this year.
Well, yeah, there's this like sort of hustle culture that was created in China where you have to work. Well, they're communist, so if you work harder, you don't get any more from it. So, yeah, especially in the internet age when people aren't like fucking retarded like their parents, they just figure, okay, why the fuck am I doing this? Didi donated $2.
It's been about 5 years of lifting.
Fuck.
And I seldom took rest days. From the beginning to now, I have never gone more than, I don't know, 3 days without a lift. And that's excessive. I couldn't tell you the last time I took more than even 2 days off in a row. 5 years, 365 days a year. Let's just be generous and say I only lifted 300 times a year, which I know I know for a fact it's been more than that, but
he's gonna snap his shit up if he doesn't take some sort of regular rest breaks. There's some like weird thing in my sock. Yeah, he's gonna snap his shit up, especially with the way he trains. He trains like super heavy, throws weight around like crazy. If he's not taking like, you know, deloads where he doesn't train for maybe a week or two, you know, every accumulation phase he has could be anywhere from like 4 weeks to 12 weeks. He's gonna end up getting injured pretty badly.
I don't want to fucking do the math. 1,500 lifts, you know, and let's say even just an hour a lift, 1,500 hours. How many hours of fucking League of Legends do you have clocked in? You could be right here, but instead you've got 1,500 hours of League.
True.
Most of my growth came actually after I graduated high school. Somehow found these other like 4 lunatics. 3 of us were college dropouts, 1 was a high school dropout, and 1, I don't know, he just like quit his job. We were all super small YouTubers, and we basically talked every day for 1,000 days in a row and did nothing but just like hyper study, like what makes a good video, what makes a good thumbnail, what's good pacing, like how to go viral. And like some days, like I'd get on Skype at 7 a.m. and I'd be in the call until like 10 p.m. and then I'd go to bed, I'd wake up, I'd do it again. Oh, you know, we'd do things like just take 1,000 thumbnails and see if like there's a correlation to the brightness of the thumbnail to how many views it got, or like, you know, like videos that get over 10 million views. It's like, how often do they cut the camera angles, or like things like that.
So you microanalyzed
everything. Yeah, just, I mean, for like, we were very religious about it. Like, we didn't do anything. We had no life.
Pretty sure he's full of shit. He probably just hired like a thumbnail creator and shit, and then just tried to make, you know, copy videos that he saw that went viral.
Holy fuck! Oh, I mean, no matter what you want to do, like, I'm sure if you're a smaller guy, you might feel kind of silly doing a set like this, in the sense that like you don't want to be judged by the people around you. But whether or not you do your set with fucking complete range of motion all the way to the top, all the way down, or kind of fucking constant tension style.
G Donatillers, when Burb forgets to activate flaps. I'll look at that in a second.
As long as it's a hard set.
Thanks for
and
that
you're getting
donation,
pumped,
man.
You're doing something right. Holy fuck!
Yeah, the way he trains is not ideal.
What would you say would be the worst thing about where you live? Of all the major cities of the world, New York actually has a very good cost of living, except for the rent. The rent is the one factor in the cost of living that drives costs sky high. In other major cities of the world, the rents are somewhat reasonable, but the other costs of living are very high. Here, you can get a monthly Metro card for what, $125, and you can use it 3,000 times a month. But your rent is going to nail you. I'll give you an example. I live in a walk-up tenement building that was constructed in 1888. I've been in that apartment for more than 25 years. I won't tell you what my rent is, but it's rent stabilized. Ooh. I have two neighbors in my building that were born in the apartments they live in. They were born before 1974, so their rents are frozen at those rates. They pay $120 a month. Oh my gosh. For a large one-bedroom, and $160 a month for a two-bedroom. You can't...
Whoa. Okay, dude, no wonder fucking boomers have it so easy. What the fuck? Good luck finding an apartment in New York for like under $2,000 a month. Like, holy shit.
Can't find my apartment in New York anymore. You're never leaving. I will never leave my apartment as long as I stay in New York. Wow.
Jesus Christ. Dude, if I could only pay $120 a month on rent, holy crap.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Apparently they just bounce.
Pull up. Pull up. Bank angle. Bank angle. Angle.
Yeah, I think those birds just bounce and they're fine. Explanation G.
Almost 12 times more than 20 years ago.
Students, they have much higher expectation for their job income, their job stability.
You know, it's still sad that Shapiro, Luma, etc. don't realize that when the Nazis would hypothetically do their own bidding by holocausting certain groups, that they themselves would become part of the Holocaust 2.0 once the Nazis are done with them. Sigh.
Yep. So, they're stupid. But thanks for that donation, Ben.
And what they can derive by doing work.
But the graduates soon
How do you think Strickland versus Adesanya will go? Adesanya is probably going to win.
They're competing with thousands of others for only a handful of jobs that match their skills and expectations. Urban youth unemployment hit a record 21.3% in June. Joblessness in China increased dramatically in recent years, while other countries such as the US saw a spike in youth unemployment during the pandemic that rapidly fell as restrictions were eased. China maintained COVID controls for longer than most countries, keeping its borders closed from 2020 to early 2023. Major cities went through extended lockdowns that disrupted production. As the economy slowed, so too did hiring. China's youth unemployment rate rose for 6 consecutive months this year. Then in August, the government abruptly announced that it would stop reporting that data, citing plans to revisit the methodology. Analysts say the suspension fits a worrying pattern of haziness around the true state of China's economy. To address the youth unemployment problem, local governments ordered state-owned companies to hire more graduates. They're also pushing young people to take up blue-collared work, but that's unappealing for a lot of college graduates. A survey from online recruitment platform Xiaoping found that a quarter of this year's graduates want to work in the technology sector, despite the fact that some of China's biggest tech firms had massive layoffs following a regulatory crackdown on the industry.
So unless confidence revives in those sectors, young college graduates will likely continue to struggle in terms of what kind of work they're looking forward to do.
Down the line, having millions of young people out of work will have serious ripple effects for China's society.
High jobless rate among young people also exacerbate many other structural challenges that China already is dealing with. For example, without stable jobs, many people are putting off getting married. They don't want to have kids, and all these will make China's demographic situation even worse.
Some are warning of a lost generation. It's adding to a long list of challenges.
China's heading for a very big recession in the near future. They're pretty much screwed. All right.
Full plate.
I think we had some Frank Tufano vids we wanted to get through. Where the fuck were they?
I can't imagine having...
You, like the
phone? Yeah, this is pretty...
Rear delt flies are the best simple exercise that can really help combat poor posture.
Poor posture is not fixed by doing like any particular exercise. So if you're slouching because that's just the most comfortable position to be in. Simple as that. It's not because your back is weak.
Yeah, there's more intense stuff like physical therapy, heavy stuff like deadlifts, but this is simple and something a lot of people are familiar with in the realm of bodybuilding and weightlifting. So, when you're hunched over at your desk or whatever, all the stuff in the front is tight. The delts, the chest, and the neck. And all the stuff in the back is stretched out. The traps, the back, the rear delts, the mid delts, the neck. But when you do a reverse fly...
There's no evidence that sitting in a particular position for prolonged periods of time affects posture.
You're actually stretching out all those tight muscles and flexing and strengthening all the stretched out muscles. So it's really the perfect and best simple movement for correcting your posture. And it's something...
Won't do anything to fix posture.
You'll notice a big difference doing every day. You guys can check out my workout routine, Max.
Frank doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Holding in your pee is bad for you.
Did you know that it's bad to hold it?
Why are his shorts so fucking quiet, by the way?
In your urine? I figured this out because I would be on these 2 or 3 hour car rides, and after holding it in for a little bit, I would get these headaches. But when I used the bathroom, they would almost go away instantly.
Frank says everything gives him a headache. So he thinks holding in his pee gave him a headache. What fucking sense does that make?
The bladder is completely full. The kidneys will start filling up with urine. Both the bladder and kidneys will swell up and put pressure on nearby organs. The urine is storing waste and toxins that the body wants to excrete. If those toxins sit in the bladder and kidneys, they'll start...
Oh my god, he's so stupid. It's unreal.
Entering the bloodstream and other organ systems, causing all sorts of...
The reason why it's a bad thing to hold in your pee, especially if you're female, is your bladder is held up by your pelvic floor muscles. If you have weak pelvic floor muscles and you have a really heavy bladder because you haven't peed, what happens is it slouches down and it starts to go through your pelvic floor, and then you can't hold in your urine. So that's why a lot of women will laugh when they, or pee when they laugh, or if they start running or exerting themselves, especially like deadlifting. That's why it's bad to hold in your pee. If you hold in your pee for a longer time, you're not going to develop fucking kidney disease.
Side effects. So if you drink a decent amount of liquid or have a large meal, you want to make sure to go to the bathroom within half an hour of having the urge. This is also very dependent on overall health and organ function. Some people are sensitive and have health issues.
What a dummy. He is just so dumb. I can't get over it, man.
What's up? How are you guys today? We're doing something a little different. I'm going to show you another aspect of, having a healthy lifestyle, which is my current hygiene and cosmetic routine. So we are in my bathroom, and there's...
With hair like this, do you really think he has a hygiene and cosmetic routine?
Also, a lot
Looks
of
like a fucking mop.
interesting products that I like using that I have on my Amazon shop, whether it's like the shower filter or a few other things that you guys might want to stick around to see. So I have all of my oral care stuff on the left side here for the most part. If I ever comb my hair, my combs and brushes are over there. And then I just have some like shaving stuff and just like eyebrows and nail clipping stuff over here. So one thing I do every day, sometimes twice a day, is a nasal flush. You guys have seen me do several videos on this now.
He probably shouldn't do this. He literally squirts water and iodine into his nasal cavity. You probably don't want to do that. So like the neti pots are fine, but he's using iodine to like clean out his nasal cavities. It's probably not good to do that.
Now I use a glass bottle of mineral water and the iodine from organ supplements. This is really important for rinsing out your nasal cavity after interacting with people in public because of all, the jab stuff might be getting into your nasal cavity. So you got...
What? He thinks the vaccine is transmissible? What is he talking about?
To be careful with that. I do feel better and a noticeable difference. And sometimes I'll even take the iodine, I'll put it in my water flosser, I'll put the pressure really low, and I'll actually spray my tonsils and the back of my throat with the iodine just to make sure that, after I go outside...
That is so weird and stupid.
I'm not getting anything. These are just my retainers. You guys know I had double jaw surgery. We have the floss that's available on Frankie's Naturals, as well as the toothpaste. Here I have, this is a tongue scraper, and this is a brush for the retainers. I'll put everything that you guys see here on my Amazon shop for the most part, including like the wall. This is the new whitening mouthwash we have on Frankie's Naturals. I like this. Now, if you're following a perfect diet and you don't brush your teeth, you're never going to get cavities, but...
You need to brush your teeth, you fucking idiot. Doesn't matter what you're eating, you need to brush your teeth. If you don't, you're going to develop plaque and they're going to start rotting. Even if you don't eat like sugary foods, that's still going to happen, and it's really bad for your gums as well.
Dumbest anti-vax take I've ever heard.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks there was like micro machines or something inside the vaccine, and that's what he's talking about. Or nanobots. Like, he's an idiot. Thanks for the donation, Matthew.
Regardless of how well you eat, you will still have like plaque buildup and your teeth will turn yellow. So if you want to have like a really bright white smile, you do need to do like oral care on a consistent basis, and also like your breath will start smelling a bit even if you don't smell it yourself. Yeah, so I floss, I use the water floss, I brush my teeth with the toothpaste, water floss again, and then I rinse with the mouthwash. Shavings, nothing crazy, guys. I don't have to shave that much, maybe like once every 2 weeks. I just use the...
Whoa, Frank literally has like the hormonal profile of a 12-year-old. How the fuck does he only have to shave like every 2 weeks? Like he grows no hair.
The new natural shave cream we have, I'll do like a 6-bladed razor for most of it, and then for some tight areas I'll use a straight razor, usually slicing my face open half the time. I like these nail clippers a lot. I think the brand is called Seki.
That's what some dumb Christian nut jobs think, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, I know. I know that's common conspiracy theory. Thanks for that donation, though, Matthew.
I once called with Frank Tufano and he said that Richard won't admit the shampoo he uses has animal ingredients inside in a very small degree, and he said he caught you but never talked about it because he doesn't wanna humiliate you. Also, did you watch JJK?
That is a bizarre claim. What's JJK? I don't know what that is. Thanks for the donation, Truth Seeker.
Again, guys, I'll put everything on my Amazon shop. These are for my eyebrows, scissors, and just like a little brush. And as much as I don't comb my hair that often, this is like a great gift for your husbands or boyfriends, ladies. Kent makes some really high quality combs and brushes. I was tired of them breaking and not being that good, and so far this brand has held up pretty good. I think they're made in Britain.
Is that a cup of lard? What the fuck is that? Yo. This fucking Fanta Zero Sugar, holy shit, it's good, dude. I'm like addicted to it. It's so fucking good. It's like a mix of orange, grape, I think a berry flavor too. It's really nice.
So fish and chips ain't the only good thing to come out of the UK. That's a little science experiment. We might have a new moisturizing cream for you guys. But
yeah, I think it's probably like lard or something. Matthew Valente donating $2. Speaking of stupidity.
Sometimes you have to walk through the front door. Things we learned on the playground in grade school. Punch a bully in the mouth. Face things head on. He's not doing it. At least that is the point of view offered by New York Times columnist Charles Blow when it comes to the way President Biden is simply ignoring all the transgressions of Donald Trump. But
here's the fucking problem. Like, it might be a good campaign strategy for him.
Be honest, do you spit or swallow or take the Lord in the crevice of the dark hole?
Dark hole. Thanks for the donation, Vegan Gains. So this may be the most ideal strategy, because the reason fucking Trump won the last election is because so many people were talking about him, and like especially Democrats at the time didn't realize that people believed him. Like, people would be stupid enough to actually take him seriously. So they just might be worried the more they talk about Trump, the more people will hear about him and the more people will agree with what he says. On top of that, look, if Joe Biden were to attack Trump for his crimes, there's a good chance Trump will just fire back and say, like, Joe is too slow to even know, like, what crime I committed or something. He'll just take jabs at, him being old and frail and shit. I don't know if it ends up, being good for Joe Biden to have that strategy. Thanks for the donation, Matthew.
He claimed it, and I would like you to debunk that claim or prove it's not true. I mean, I see you as a vegan idol and I'd be disappointed. Also, Svaria once claimed a similar thing, so yeah. BTW, let's watch Svaria new video after this Frank Tufano he did.
I don't know how I would prove I've never used a shampoo that has animal ingredients in it. And I also don't know why Frank would not want to embarrass me publicly when he hates me, so. But thanks for the donation, Truth Seeker. I don't think we're going to watch Sverige. His videos lately being a bit boring. What is true love? Unproductive slave routine. he's made this video like over and over again, so I've seen it all before.
But in the meantime, my somewhat mess of a bathroom. This is the sunscreen we've been using on my tattoo when I go tan. This is a face moisturizing cream I use once in a while. Some backup iodine over there. This is just the deodorant. I like it because it's a lot easier to put this on than the other one we used to have. This is really fast. And then this is the moisturizing cream I currently use that we have. It's the whipped shea butter and coconut oil. Easy to apply, simple, minimal ingredient. This is something I like. So like if you're not using baby wipes, you know, what are you doing? This is a little attachment thing you screw onto the wall. I think this was on Amazon as well. So, you know, the baby wipes are easier to dispense, or if you have like a toilet paper holder like this, you could use more convenient. Body wash.
He's explaining toilet paper dispensers.
We have some shampoo, and that's kind of what I did for, and really $30 on Amazon. If to clean.
Why did he make this video? He basically says, I brush my teeth and wash my hair and wipe my bum. Like, why did he make this? This is the stupidest fucking video. Like, he's really run out of fucking ideas. Holy shit.
Pamphlet, the edition that Dr.
If you search...
I hate how it automatically plays. Fucking autoplay. Let's see.
It is
Fuck.
A lot of you have asked.
Nope. Why am I watching so many pizza reviews? Here we go. Let's watch some mints.
Slow down. You're looking very ape-like this morning. When you get up, beat on your chest. The monkey prick that you are. Apey. Come on, Brad. You get some real angel dust. Real. It's a crack.
What are your thoughts on this? Was this a confession?
This happened during a TikTok live stream.
Let's just say, for example, if I came out, right?
Well, there's no if, because I mean it's out. Like,
well, no. I'm saying before, back at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say, for example, I came out, talked about it, right, and addressed it, all that good stuff, right? And then all of a sudden, are you bailing me out? Haley bailing me out? Is Jason bailing me out? Is Chris bailing me out? No. like, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, and I'm not trying to throw you guys under the bus. That's not what I'm doing, okay? I'm trying to get you guys to understand where I'm trying to come from here. You know what I mean? Dude, I've even talked about this multiple times with my sister, man, and like actual family. And they're all like, listen, man, you know, it's not just one attorney who's telling you, hey, keep your mouth shut. There's what? Several of them. You know what I mean? Because when you're faced with a particular situation like that, obviously you're going to do your research and you're going to try to you want to try to get the best person. You know what I mean?
Right. And one thing I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna pause you for a second. Okay, so as you see now, damn, my sound kind of cut out. Hello?
I'm here.
Okay. As you see now, like as you reflect on it, you can see that the mistake that you made was not like coming out about it, right? Like you can see that the advice from the lawyers didn't really help much, you know?
Helped a lot. I'm not in jail.
I don't want to see you wind up in jail. I don't want to see you wind up in prison. There's a chance that that can happen, right?
He needs to go to prison. Like, he got caught again. So there have been a lot of sus moments with him, and people were getting the idea that he might actually be attracted to children. And then he got caught. It was proven. And then he's been caught multiple times since then. Like, this guy won't stop. He's not apologetic. Like, he doesn't actually believe he's doing anything wrong when he tries to have sex with children. Like, that's the real issue here. So he needs to go to jail. That's the only fucking place for him so that kids can be safe.
Like, and granted, what you did was wrong, and anybody who did that does deserve to be in jail. But as I'm saying it as a friend standpoint, like, of course, you don't want to see any friend end up there. You don't want to see any friend end up in prison. When you look back on it, even if you admitted to it, which, I mean, you were caught on video, you don't have to admit to nothing. You don't have to admit guilt to nothing. Sorry if I'm stuttering. I mean, the proof was there. Like,
Hey, Andrew.
You know, and just like there is now, who knows when that video from JDM is going to drop? Like, there's that one. I haven't even watched anything about it. I've just been getting hit up by people showing me things about it. I just think that you should take this time to own up to it. I'm coming from a friend, Brian. Like, this is coming from me. I've known you for 10 years. Bro. Like, I just think that now's the time to just own up to it. Because as you look back on it, you should have done it in the first place.
Forget it, man. I'm trying to explain it the best way I can. You're not even, it's not coming out the right way.
I understand what you're saying, Brian.
EDP saying that if he came out, who is going to bail him out? And that the advice of him not talking by...
Yeah, so if he wants to avoid going to jail, talking about it's a terrible idea. So, but that's where he belongs. He belongs in jail. What flavor Fanta? I think it's like some specialty mystery flavor, you know, like how they come out with, like Galaxy flavor Coke, that sort of thing. Doesn't say that any flavor on the front.
Can we watch this later? This seems interesting. And would you get any of these gadgets to fuck with people?
I don't think I'm going to watch that. There are hacking devices that you can buy online that are super easy to use. So I'm not really interested in this. But thanks for the donation, Dutchy. Would I use any of those gadgets to fuck with people? Well, possibly. I mean, given that there are some people with things like pacemakers that you might not want to be alive, I don't know, maybe. Like, so, really depends on the circumstances, but I'm not really interested in changing street lights or, opening car doors or anything, but if there was a real good use for something like that, then sure. Thanks, Dutchy, again. Vegan Gains Frozen Sperm Cells, donate tellers. Richard, how do I join Destiny's Orbiter Club? Do I have to be mentally ill? Yeah, I think either mental illness or retardation are requirements, so one or the other. Thanks for the donation, VG's Frozen Sperm Cells.
Leo Penis replied a few times on DebateVid. I said he's a fake hack after looking at it. But he said he made an alt BCU blocked him. True? Here's a screenshot cause when I post the link it says vid unavailable while it's the same URL. i.ib.go/gftsj4v/leo.ping.
I don't recall ever blocking him. If anything, he blocked me. I don't recall blocking him. Why would I do that? Yeah, see? He's not blocked. Hide user from channel report. So if he was blocked, it would say unblock or unhide. So he blocked me. Let me see if my comment is still there. No, it's still there. Yeah, so if he's not able to comment, then that's due to like him blocking me or something. I don't know. But I never blocked him. He's full of shit. His own fan base is fucking retarded, by the way. Like, if you're actually a Leo fan, you're dumb as fuck. Thanks for the donation, though, Stitching NoFap.
It's time to play some motherfucking video games. Don't tell me you're not in a gaming mood. You already gave that excuse 5 days in a row. Start gaming soon, cause I will sleep in 4 hours. You need to game.
I don't know, man. Still says Space Marine 2 is coming soon. They're not giving a solid date on that yet. Fuck is this?
Hi Richard, my name is Adam Gugimos and my birthday is the 19th of April 1989, and if you braid the 4 it becomes /. So yeah, / superscript 191989. I am your Mr. COVID.
That's good to know. Sorry that you have a name like Gugiyamos. But appreciate the donation, dude.
Here's some great ments from Koth.
I will take a look at that in just a moment. Thanks for the donation, man. Moonrider, that might be good. It's on sale. Add that to my wish list. Oh, my taint is itchy. All right. He is just so lame, and everything he does just seems awkward and wrong. It's hard to explain.
Alright guys, this is something that I feel that needs to be said. And I know a little while back I did a video on an influencer passing who went to the crazy fruitarian raw vegan side of veganism. And look, I get it. People want to make their dietary choices. People want to identify with a special diet name and refer to it as a lifestyle and everything else, and I get that. I am fully aware there are in some cases moral connotations attached to all of this. I personally think those are misguided, but not my call to tell other people how to live their life and determine what their morals are. So the thing is, people do a lot of very extreme diets, and extreme diets to where they're cutting out normal whole food sources.
I think that's enough of watching Jason Blaha's disgusting body.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I'm just going to cut to the chase. I'm going to not be passive aggressive. I'm not going to beat around the bush or not get right to the point. Alex Leonidas responded yesterday, and he discussed some stuff and said, look, we've got to have integrity and honor, and you've been unfiltered lately, and again, I'm going to respond.
I can't, oh my god, just why does he do this? I just don't want to look at him. Whatever, thanks for the nation, Koth Blaha.
Why the fuck aren't you playing Remnant 2? It's a great game, man. Also, are you or anyone you know into watches? I love watches. I keys to them up my ass. I own a G-Shock.
I'm not playing Remnant 2 because I was planning on playing it co-op with a friend of mine, and then it ended up not being cross-platform. And the little bit of it I played, I wasn't enjoying it. I played the medic class because that was the class with a machine gun, and I thought that would be more fun with a machine gun, and it just sucked. The machine guns in the game just aren't good. So, yeah, I just haven't had an interest in picking it up again. And I'm not into watches. Not at all, so... But... Thanks for the donation. Why the fuck aren't you playing Remnant 2? I just have to go take a pee-pee. I will be right back. Yeah. Some weird fucking thing in my sock. Oh, it's like... Fuck, it's like some really hard piece of stitching. I don't know where my fucking cutters are. God damn it. Alright, I guess I'm no socking it. Maybe I'll just keep my right one on. Schizo poster donated $2. Richard, do you think Xena's hot? She's conventionally attractive. I don't find her attractive personally. Just doesn't do it for me. Allegedly, she has a felony and has stabbed someone before. That doesn't particularly surprise me. But, yeah, I don't find her attractive personally, but I'd say she's conventionally good looking. Thank you, Schizo. Oh.
Twerk.
Okay, I guess we'll be doing some twerking. Thanks for the big donation, Adam. Dodo donated $2. Play RE or the Area 51 game or Little Nightmares or Dark Pictures game or Area 51 game or RE. Maybe. We'll see how things go. If I'm in the mood for anything, there's a pixel art game that I actually want to play. What is it called? Can't remember the fucking name. Eastward. There it is. Yeah, I was thinking of playing Eastward. But thanks, Dodo.
Just paying it forward.
Well, thank you again for the big donation, Adam. I shall do the twerking for you. So we'll do like 2 songs that are between 5-10 minutes in length. Thank you again, dude. You donate $2, then just listen to those Blaha vids while scrolling down so you can't see them. There's nothing new. I don't really care what Blah has to say. He's just like a fucking retarded racist asshole. Thanks for the donation though, man. He can't make any new videos, so like all the content is just the same over and over and over again. Dodo donates $2. Who would you rather look at? Elon Musk's gross out of shape body or Jason Blaha's body? Well, Elon Musk. Also, let me tell you, years ago when you first had beef with Jason, I used to think you two were both the same level intellectually speaking for someone reason, but I know better. Oh, intellectually speaking for some reason, but I know better. Okay, well. I think a lot of people overestimated Blaha's intelligence, including myself. Wasn't until the fake Merc stuff came out that everybody realized he was actually retarded. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo.
I trained 19 hours so far this week, all MMA that doesn't include cardio or weightlifting, and I think I understand why most MMA fighters are on gear now. My whole body is pain. Working a shift at the bar today was fucking miserable.
Well, yeah, there's not really a realistic way to do that much training that hard, like practically every day, and be able to recover from it, so yeah. They're also, a lot of them are also on EPO, which also helps with like work capacity. Thanks for the donation though, Sky Gardner. Kid Boo donated $2, read caption. Let me see. Reminder, none of the people responsible for this went to prison for 22 years. Black Lives Matter, da-da-da. Yeah, the problem is they weren't trying to overthrow the fucking government. So, yeah, it's a serious thing that these fucking Proud Boy members did. A little more serious than just starting a fire. Thanks for the donation, though, Kid Boo.
W.
I suppose so. Thank you for the W and the $10, Sky Gardner. Appreciate it. I would not recommend Blaha's novice program. No.
Is she natty? Just kidding, how not natty is she? And is she a muscle manly in your eyes?
Yeah, she's definitely a muscle mommy. How not natty? Looks like it honestly looks like she only trains her legs. Yeah, it literally looks like she only trains her legs. Oh, maybe not. Is she photoshopping these or something? Like, I swear she looks so different in some of these photos. Kind of weird. She's probably just on a bit of Anavar, if I had to guess. I don't think she's hitting the sauce particularly hard. But if I had to guess, she's probably just like taking Anavar, maybe like some Winstrol. Her legs are crazy. Those are pretty freaky looking legs. Yeah, so she does figure competitions. Thanks for the donation, Andrew. Yeetus fetus donated $2. A fetus's life is as significant as a mosquito, and there's nothing wrong with swatting a mosquito. Yeah, so no. I think even at 8 weeks of age, which is right when you could make the first sign of sentience arises, fetus is far more complex neurologically than a mosquito. You can't tell me you give a shit about some parasite who will probably grow up into an animal abuser anyway. Well, here's the thing. Given that most children born are going to be meat eaters, yeah, I don't have a problem with a lot of abortions, for sure. Thanks for the donation, Yeetus.
What are your overall thoughts on Dr. K? Is he beneficial for everyone or does he cause more harm than good? Thanks.
I don't know if he causes more harm than good. I just think he's untrustworthy. So I had that debate on Destiny's channel and Avi disagreed with me, but the guy's clearly a quack. Maybe not quite quack territory, but he's silly, at least. So yeah, the Ayurveda stuff, believing in like doshas, whatever the fuck that stupid shit is. He makes claims that are completely and utterly bullshit, and it just seems like the guy's fucking lying to me, and it's not just him being silly and having dumb ideas. So he said Ayurvedic medicine is more effective than things like antidepressants, antipsychotics, anti-anxiety meds. That is a crazy bullshit claim that he has no evidence for. So I've also seen a friend of mine sent me a video he made. He said he only studied for 2 hours a day in medical school. That is fucking horseshit. I have some very smart friends. One of them is currently studying to become a doctor. He has to study for many hours each fucking day, and school is very difficult. There's no way Dr. K, who's not particularly smart, who believes in fucking doshas, would be able to study for only 2 hours a day in medical school. Bullshit. He's just lying. He also recently claimed that the most effective frontline treatment for most mental health disorders is meditation. That is bullcrap. So he's just not a trustworthy person. I would not ever go to him for advice because there's no way of telling if he's right or wrong. If you want to find an expert opinion because you're lacking knowledge on a subject, he's not the one to go to because he's untrustworthy and he's a fucking liar. Thanks for the donation, though, Vegan for Life. Appreciate it.
I'm going to see How to Kill a Mockingbird this fall. My high school essay what to read the book, and I took a guy's answer because I don't kill. So I graduated and have his murder plans.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but thanks for the donation, Adam. Let's do twerk, I guess, since the guy paid me good money. I don't know if that's a good one. Put that in the maybe.
Okay, so like all I'm asking is if you saw me in the woods, would you fall in love with me? That's all I'm asking. Like, it's an easy question. Like, if you saw me in the woods, would you fall in love with me?
Too much makeup. Okay.
A male appendage, that you were a hermaphrodite, and you joked about it on the stage last night.
Maybe I do.
But it's interesting.
Would it be so terrible?
But it's interesting. A lot of
Based.
I was gonna say, I grew up. Hey! What do you think you're doing? Just stop! Stop! Finger over here.
I don't know what some of that is. Didn't somebody want me to twerk to a Michael Jackson song? It was just Friends, right? Yeah. Zest God donated $2. Richard, if you were incarcerated in jail and your cellmates were Felice Johnson and an EDP, what would you do? Kill them both. Or at least cripple them to where they can't move. Yeah, I'm not putting up those assholes. Thanks for the donation, Zest.
Just to follow up on the Dr. K thing. 2 hours a day in medical school is just a lie. Currently to study 6 hours a day, and when Avi was in medical school he would tell me he would study for 16 hours a day for 2 months straight. But no Dr. K 2 hours Lamau.
That should tell you something. Avi's a extremely smart guy, and if he had to study for 16 hours a day to get through medical school, there's no way an idiot like Dr. K could only study for 2 hours. So when somebody says something like that, like, they're just a fucking liar. He's a liar, and you can't trust him. So yeah, he's a lying fucking piece of shit. Especially when I saw that, I really lost respect for him. I didn't know he claimed that. Like, there's just no fucking way you can get through medical school with only 2 hours of studying per day.
You look tired. How are you feeling? Did somebody pay for a long twerk? What time did the stream start?
The stream started exactly 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 20 seconds ago. And yeah, somebody paid for 2 twerk songs.
Here is my counter-argument. There's strategy to studying. Dr. K's studying could be more efficient than George's friend and Avi. There are various study tactics and methods to raise efficiency with lots of science behind it. Why assume he's dishonest? Jew.
Yeah, that's absolute bullshit. You're not going to cut down what's realistically going to be, 6 to up to 16 hours of fucking study time into 2 hours. So that's just horseshit. Dr. K's a liar. He's flat out fucking lying, and he's bullshitting. Thanks for the donation though, Bumcum. And yeah, Sam, somebody paid for 2 twerks, and because they paid more money, I'm doing longer twerks. So I am tired. Had a bit of a rough day today. I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before, and then my training wasn't that great, and I was just fucking exhausted, but feeling fine otherwise. Thanks again, Sam. Let's watch some Ments for a bit.
What took you so long to get here this morning?
That piece of shit was oversleeping in bed.
Well, where else would you be sleeping? Out on your fucking patio with the goddamn peacocks?
Maybe. Peacocks got on my nerves this morning. They were howling like they...
Yeah, bro. iDubbbz and Anissa will never get me for Creator Clash. Anissa hates me, so that's just never happening. I'd gladly fight Leafy and give him permanent severe brain damage. But, yeah, it's just not happening.
Idiot.
You allowed to kill them or no?
No. I'm afraid not. You get in trouble.
What happened to you yesterday?
I overslept.
Bullshit.
Dude, he does not look well.
I did.
You were, Andrew said you were on Instagram saying how I'm up, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to the
gym later.
And your fat ass didn't even show up.
Overslept.
What kind of bullshit me, dude?
How was going on?
Prince is here. Here, why don't you film? Give him some commentary. He's very ape-like this morning.
Ape, I am an ape.
Your number one fan's over there, the hyena.
The hyena, the laughing hyena. He sounds like one too.
You look like a monkey.
And he
smell like one too.
And he looks like a hyena, and he smells like one too.
This looks like one of those like giveaway shirts. We could have done better than that. You could get some garbage. Come on.
I'm giving a shout out. They put me in the magazine, man. What are you talking?
Show me some worse brand you can get. Come on. They gotta have better shirts than that.
Do an interview with you.
Yeah.
You lying sack of shit.
Shut up! Do your way.
I listened to about 10 minutes. You told me you got a reality show deal?
Maybe.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe. You never know.
Where?
Let's just be quiet and shut it up. Do the way. Do the way.
He said, did you hear? He said, he told Louis Marco that he had a reality show deal with other bodybuilders. She's telling me.
It's funny, man. It's funny. Come on.
This is why people can't stand you, because you fucking lie through your teeth.
No, stop it, bro. Come on, just do the weight. Not in the AM, bro. Not in the AM, bro. Do the weight.
You're making people dizzy.
Jason has a reality show on Animal Planet.
Oh, Animal Planet with all the zoos and hyenas.
This is what happens when you crossbreed.
Crossbreed.
With the monkey and a wacko.
And a hyena over there.
The hyena keeps quiet when you're filming. He doesn't want to be on film.
I should be filming you doing this weight.
I'll be doing this weight next.
You're late this morning.
Sorry I'm late.
You got no excuse. You don't even sleep.
I do sleep. I sleep good. I've been taking sleeping
Who
aids.
paid you for that works? How much was paid? Were you also paid to do sit-ups?
Adam Gugimos paid for the twerks, and it was 200 total.